shit smell like ass. I'm talking.
Take it down! Alright, thank you very much. This is No Bears Allowed. We're really excited for Aaron's show.
And now introducing Aaron Fairmont.
Thank you so much. I am so excited to welcome you to More Than a Laugh. Looks like I already got more than a laugh. My work here is done. Have a good night. But as I look out in the audience, I realize that just about all of you showed up despite having no idea what you're about to watch. Perhaps some of you came for No Bears. By the way, give it up for No Bears one more. However, this show is not going to be improv. Maybe some of you came because there's many members of Friday Night Live who are going to be in the show, and honestly, this show really wouldn't be possible without Friday Night Live. So give it up for them too. But this is also not exactly a sketch comedy show. And maybe there's theater majors out there who came to see fellow theater majors, Kyra and Brian Warner, who are amazing. However, this is not a play, and Kyra will not be a genie. And then maybe there's some of you who happen to just see an advertisement and decide, why not? Let's go to this show. And that leaves just the people who, I might be crazy for thinking anyone would come to this show for this reason, but maybe people who came to see me?
Hello, Manny Pink.
Thank you. So, a little about me. I'm a senior BA in theater, but I actually want to get a job after I graduate, so I'm double majoring in creative writing. Yeah, I got into writing in high school. I'd like to say I've improved a lot since then. So recently I looked back at a couple of poems I wrote in high school, and two particularly were really bad. And I kind of feel bad that I had to go through the suffering of reading those by myself, so I thought maybe I'd share them with you guys too. The first one is called Sitting On. I walked into the living room where a chair was. Something compelled me to sit on that thing. Shortly after, I let out a nice loud fart. It caused such a ruckus that my dad came into the room. Now he wanted to sit on it. Sure enough, he ripped one even louder than I did. This alerted my mom, who came in, sat down, and unleashed the nastiest fart of them all. So that was that poem. And you're going to have to bear with me through just one more of those, and maybe there'll be a point to them. But this one is called Printer Malfunction. And this one's called A Baby. There was a baby playing with his toys. I was actually babysitting right now. Suddenly the baby started to cry. I didn't know what to say to him. I just stood there and let it happen. The baby then burst into a tantrum. Now nothing would make this baby stop crying, so I walked away full of regret for what I've started. So even as a high schooler, I was aware that these are not very good poems. And I was just thinking, is there a way to salvage these? Is there anything I could do to make these poems better? And then it hit me. What if I combined them? Into Sitting on a Baby. room where a chair was. There was a baby playing with his toys. Something compelled me to sit on that thing. I was actually babysitting right now. Shortly after, I let out a nice, loud fart. Suddenly, the baby started to cry. It caused such a ruckus that my dad came into the room. I didn't know what to say to him. And now he wanted to sit on it. I just stood there and let it happen. Sure enough, he ripped one even louder than I did. The baby then burst into a tantrum. This alerted my mom, who came in, sat down, and unleashed the nastiest fart of them all. Now nothing would make this baby stop crying, so I walked away full of regret for what I have started. So then college came after high school, and that's when I got into performing comedy on top of just writing. And naturally, when I found out there's a group on campus called Friday Night Live that puts on comedy shows just like Saturday Night Live, I had to get in. So, I helped them out backstage. I was emailing the president all the time, just sending him scripts to get feedback, and just suck up to him. And then finally, auditions came, and so to try to get in, I wrote and performed this little song. There were two bees that crept up behind me, and the bees scared me like ghosts on Halloween. The bees screamed, "Boo!" And at that moment I knew these were no ordinary bees. These were a special kind of bees. They were boobies. They were boobies. They are always found in pairs. Boobies. Something about them makes you stare. Boobies. To catch these bees that bring such fear. Boobies, don't use a net, use a brassiere. Boobies, should you dare to sneak a glance. Boobies, they will leave you in a trance. Boobies always feel smooth as silk. Boobies don't make honey, they make milk. Boobies bigger than your average bee. Boobies, in fact, I think they're double D's. So I got into Friday Night Live with that, and I've been a part of it ever since. Then came the year 2022, and I started writing 6 scripts, some of which are meant to be performed on stage, some of which are short films. And none of them have any relation to each other whatsoever in terms of subject matter or even tone. So, of course, the only logical thing to do is to group them all into one show and have them perform for you guys here tonight. And one thing they do all have in common is they're all comedic in some way, shape, or form. But I think you'll find that they're all a lot more than just pure comedy. So without further ado, I present to you guys More Than a Laugh.